So in this video, we're going to be talking about being a freelancer in video production, particularly in Los Angeles. And these are things that I've seen, I've done, I've observed that has led me to build a full-time freelance career in Los Angeles. So definitely take this video with a grain of salt because everyone's position is different, especially like city, location. But these are things that I've observed and done that has led me to be a full-time freelancer. And a little backstory here, I'm a DP based here in LA. I shoot a lot of commercial, fashion, and social media content, and I've been working in video production since 2013, and I've been a full-time freelancer since 2019. And I've definitely had my fair share of ups and downs, but here are some things that I've learned that has gotten me more work or etc. in terms of like just building a sustainable career. And this list is not going to be in any particular order. I'm honestly going to kind of ramble in this video, but the first one on this list definitely matters the most in my opinion, is going to be just learning soft skills. Soft skills on set is just going to be far more important than the technical aspects, particularly in Los Angeles. I mean, it's so competitive here in LA that like everyone should now know how to light, how to compose an image, how to create a beautiful shot. That's obviously coming from a perspective of being a DP. But these soft skills, the interpersonal connections, the communications, how you communicate on set, the vibes that you bring, particularly if you're running the set as a DP, are far more important than just the technical aspects of just knowing how to light something. Because honestly, the best part about being a freelancer is you can choose who you want to work with. You don't have to work for that client that you don't like. You don't have to work with people that are just bad vibes. So it goes both ways, you know, and like people will obviously attract people that are very similar in terms of working environment. So definitely keep that all in mind, man, because I feel like this is not talked about enough. Soft skills, very important. And yeah. The next thing on this list is going to be to post you working and post the work that you've made. This will go in tandem because like first people want to see how you work on set. If you post it behind the scenes of what you're doing, this will go farther and be like, oh, I want this guy from my job to shoot my project or whatever it may be. Also, it just adds a layer of credibility. Like if people see that you're working all the time on Instagram, they're going to want to see like, oh, why is he working? He must be really talented. He's really booked all the time, all this kind of stuff. Honestly, it's a little bit of a game, but you kind of have to play it. And it actually works more than you would think. I've had some of my biggest jobs ever reach out just because of social media posts, either the work that I've done or me working itself. Definitely post your work online because it gives a snippet of what it would be like to hire you, which is very valuable on set, particularly if you're trying to get new clients. This is very effective. And I don't know what it is, but people like to hire other people that are very busy. The next one on this list is going to be to have some kind of system for yourself for outreach. You have to do some kind of outreach to promote your business, your services, and who you are as a DP, videographer, whatever it may be. You have to outreach to agencies, to producers and stuff like that, and send these cold emails, man. I know a lot of people out there are going to be talking trash about cold emails not working. Honestly, it's worked for me. Does it work very often? No, but you only need one of them to really work to get a client, you know what I mean? So it's worked for me in the past, and I definitely think that reaching out to agencies, producers and stuff like that, just Google them in your nearest area, and that will definitely go a long way in building a network again. And not only that, you have to like also just reach out in terms of just like DMing other creatives to collaborate on other projects. I'm not saying you have to do spec work, but spec work definitely helps in just working with other people and showing other work that you can possibly do. And once you're in that kind of collaborative team working space, it definitely overall elevates the project as opposed to just one person, because you're gonna get that person's input and stuff like that, etc. You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely build some kind of system for yourself for outreach. This could be as simple as sending a cold email, or also just DMing someone that you want to work with that is on generally your same skill level, because that'll be obviously easier. But yeah, definitely this will go a long way in building a sustainable career as a freelancer, because there is going to be times where you're super busy, and there's going to be other times when you're super dry. You got to shake the trees, see what's out there from producers that you worked with before, and also prospective producers that you want to work with as well. So try it out. It doesn't have any downsides, as opposed to just, you know, emailing other people or demailing people to work with. And the last thing on this list is definitely to leave your pride and ego at the door. Like, I know some people out there that were full-time freelancers and full-time DPs, creatives, that don't want to have a day job. And like, I definitely get that, you know, I definitely get that. I've been in a similar point where like, I don't want to call it, I think it's like failing to pick up a day job, pick up a side hustle or something like that, when your bills and your debt is just accumulating and stuff like that. Getting a side hustle or getting a day job isn't failing at your craft. You know, you have to know and be smart like you need to like obviously use those time and resources that you do have if you're already working to like try to leverage those into more clients. But you also have to just leave your ego at the door when bills are coming up. Like there's that one, like, you know, Oscar winning writer who decided to work at Trader Joe's just because he needed to pay the bills and put food on the table. I know that's like, you know, life is different for everyone. Everyone has their own situation. But like, I'm just trying to say here that there's no shame in working some kind of job while you need to pay your bills, you know what I mean? While you want to build your freelance network in like cinematography or whatever it may be, you know, there's no shame in that, you know. And I want to make that very, very clear, because there's times where, like back in 2021, where I had to get a day job as a videographer for a tech company just to pay the bills, you know what I mean? So there's like, you know, now I'm gladly and thankfully a full-time freelance DP, and I've honestly had a very, very great year so far. But those things take time, take resources, take communications, take like networking, and just like overall, it's not overnight, you know what I mean? That career is just not built overnight, and I'm still learning as I'm going. But these are some things that I've learned over the course of my, like, you know, career as a cinematographer DP based here in Los Angeles. These things that I've listed in this video are definitely very important, and just try to sustain a full-time freelance career. But yeah, like I said, take these all with a grain of salt. This is not obviously like a very, you know, you shouldn't live by these rules, but I feel like these are things that I've observed that definitely help overall in sustaining a freelance career in video production, particularly in Los Angeles, because it's super, super competitive here, man, I guarantee you. But yeah, man, definitely be a good person, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.